We are actually employed by the Liberian government, which is very much different from the other advisors that are in Liberia, who are employed by the Americans, the US or the British government. We have been there since early 2008. We are based at the Ministry of Defense as civilian advisors within the framework of security sector reform. So what we do is, basically what we are doing is we are trying to build Liberia from scratch, getting the right structures and the right procedures in place from a Liberian point of view, not a EU or Swedish or Western point of view. Liberia is quite a small country, and having 12,000 UN troops and UN police in country actually makes it in many ways impossible for those former rebel leaders or other who would have an interest in throwing Liberia back into civil war. It makes it extremely difficult for them. And it is also, Liberia is in many instances used as a very good example of how UN should work or can work. One of the things that has been a major criticism of UN for years and years is coordination between UN's different bodies itself and other bodies in the area, in the theater of operations. And that has been a major focus for the UN, to actually have structures and mechanisms in place from the beginning, how to interact with the Liberian bodies and the international bodies, both in terms of the big international organization, but also all those smaller players, small NGOs, smaller countries like Sweden, Denmark, Norway. That is not to say that it is perfect or even that it runs very well, but it runs much better than other UN missions in Africa. It's an interesting question, how do you build a nation? But on the other hand side, there is absolutely no knowledge or no research or nothing, no useful tools to know what we are doing. So I think we are taking on too much. When we talk about that we go to Liberia from the international community and we're going to build a nation or build Liberia anew, I think that is, in a way, we are taking on too much. It is actually impossible to know how to build a nation in a couple of years' time. I think that what we can do is to try to figure out what mechanism and what structures that we definitely can say that you need to have this in place before you can take the next step in terms of building a modern something that is different from what you had. So I think that we should focus much more on not technical aspects, but certain areas where we can say that you really need to have democratic control over the security sector. You can't leave it to heads of agency or the intelligence community to do what they want. There needs to be a committee, there needs to be a chairman, there needs to be a couple of mechanisms in terms of exchanging information, etc., etc. That we can say, we know that you need this. One aspect that comes up numerous times in sub-Saharan Africa is the issue of ethnicity, issue of nation, issue of clan, etc., etc. And I think that most of that is not reasons for conflicts. It's not even reasons for continuing the conflicts that are already there. There are completely different background issues that is much more important. But the thing is that it's so easy to manipulate and mobilize groups in terms of nationality, ethnicity, clan, or whatever. So if you don't put mechanism in place to counter that, then you can come into trouble.